Welcome back to another video. Today we going to solve the medium level question, find drivers with improved fuel efficiency. So we have two tables, the drivers table and the trips table. In drivers table we have driver ID and the driver name. Okay, and in trips table we have the ID of trip, the driver ID, the date, the trip date, and the distance in decimal and the fuel consumed. So the question have some condition to find drivers whose fuel efficiency has improved by comparing their average fuel efficiency in the first half of the year with the second half of the year. Okay, and calculate fuel efficiency as distance in kilometer divided by fuel consumed for each trip. The first half like January to June and the second half is July to December. And the third thing, only include drivers who have trip in both halves of the year. Okay, like we have to get those driver ID only who has the trip in both half, like the first half and the second half. And the efficiency improved calculation is like the second half average minus first half average. Okay, and the round all result to two decimal places. Okay, and this is ordered by the efficiency improved in descending order, then by driver name and ascending order. Okay, so I think the question is very clear. Let's see the test case. So we have these are the value in the drivers table, the name and the ID, and in trips table if we say the trip date, distance and the fuel consumed with the driver ID and the trip ID. So we have to find those driver name and the efficiency improved in the first half and the second half. Okay, so our target is to find the both thing, the first half and the second half. Okay, no need to write this exclusively. So let's go with the query like so select driver ID comma they want average, so average the case when the trip date is in 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, like this is the first half. So when the trip date of the month is in 1 to 6, then provide the efficiency or the first half average, like the calculation is like distance by the fuel consumed. Okay, so distance km going to multiply by 1.0 because these in if you see the decimal places. Okay, so for no issue, no error, that is why I'm multiplying this for very simplification, and divide this and check the fuel consumed if it is not 0. Okay, why checking not 0? Because if the divided by 0 we doing here, it gives us error. Okay, so we have to handle this situation, like if it produce error, then no need to write this efficient query. Okay, so that is why we are using NULLIF, which check this first thing and the after the thing which separate the comma. Okay, so when the fuel consumed like 0 and this 0 matches, then it not get this condition and move to the next, like the fuel consumed here 10.2 and 10.2 comma 0, which is good. They are not matched, then 10.2 divided by the distance kilometer. Okay, so consumed now end as the first half average. Okay, I think you guys understand this. And the same thing for the second half, but the date, the month are 7 to 12, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Then the same thing, and in place of first there is second. Okay, perfect. From which table? From the trips table. And if you see here, we are using this aggregate function like average and average, but in driver ID we don't use any aggregate function. This is simply contained in select. Okay, so we have to group by this, group by the driver ID. Okay, so our, like, we have 3 column driver ID. For each driver ID we have the first half and the average of second half. So for making this efficient, I am going to make this a temporary table with driver F name, like the driver efficiency. Okay, so now move further to get the required output. Okay, so select driver ID. Okay, they need only the driver name, so driver name, but for the driver name we have to join this drivers table. Okay, so make sure while writing these queries, so driver name comma, we have to round these all, so the first half average with the 2 decimal places as first half average, and for the round the second half average same with 2 as second half average. Now the very important thing, the efficiency improved. So for the efficiency improved calculation, we have to round this second half minus the first half with the same 2 decimal places. Okay, comma 2 as efficiency improved. Perfect. So from which table? From the driver efficiency table. So I am making this alias as DE, so I have to use like D dot same here, because we have to join this table with the drivers table and making alias as D. Okay, so here for the driver name, D dot driver name, on what basis? On the driver ID basis. Okay, so D dot driver ID equal to D dot driver ID. Okay, and so I am making this more efficient while writing this simple condition where the D dot first half is not null, and the same for D dot second half is not null. And the main thing is for the order by, they want efficiency improved in descending order, So DESC and the D dot driver name as ascending order. Okay, so now run this and see what it return. Okay, where we missing something? Driver ID. Okay, we want the driver ID as well, so no issue. D dot driver ID comma. Okay, now running this and check. Okay, see, perfect. Okay, so if you see here how efficiently we write the query while checkout and mentioning all the possibility for the error, like divide by 0, these are basic thing we have to check here, and the round for 2 decimal places, the difference as well in 2 decimal places. Okay, and here the use of is not null for the both first half average and the second half average. Okay, so now submitting this and make sure to write this query. Okay, why this error? Okay, so there are some test case which has -1 value, which is not good. So the efficient query are those efficiency of improved which is greater than 0. Okay, so we can add here also, and the efficient improved is greater than 0, which is maybe we can say, not maybe, this is a must thing we have to use here, because okay, so we have to use this whole here. Okay, now submitting this, because efficiency improved are those which is greater than 0. Okay, if the efficiency is negative, then how we can say like we have improved? Okay, so thank you for watching the video. Stay tuned for the next video.